Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkey Around Reviews. Today we have the Apatner UV LED strobe light. This is a 20 watt strobe light. It can work with sound activation or with control of turning the strobe on and off. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. Now the first thing that I do notice is there's a good weight to this light. So it does not feel cheap even when I have it in the box and haven't opened it up yet. So as we open it up, what we see in here is the remote control. On the remote control, there is a on-off button, an LED button, auto up and down, mic minus, mic plus, and an A and M. So that tells me that we're going to be able to control the speed of the strobe and the sensitivity of the way that it listens to the music to do the strobe. Then we have the actual strobe light. So you see on here that it is a nice white color. There is a hanging bracket, a power cable, and then two knobs, a blue and an orange. There is no labeling on these knobs to tell us what they are, and there is no instruction manual in the box, so we will have to plug this light in and see what everything does. So we're going to undo the cable here, and then I have my trusty power cord. We will plug this in and see what happens. So it has already turned on and started the strobe. It's got a nice bluish color to the eye. I don't know how it's going to look in the camera. That is because this is a UV strobe. So I'm going to adjust the blue and orange knobs to see what happens. So this is the orange knob. Oh, okay, it clicked, and that's controlling the speed, it looks like. So that's all the way in one direction, real fast. There's a click. Oh, that is the sound activation there. So the orange knob seems to be sound activation, and if you click it past the sound activation, it just stays on. So that goes from strobe to sound activation. So that's the lowest knob on the sound activation, the lowest level on the sound activation right after the click, and then this is all the way up the other direction. So let's turn it back to on. So then the other one, the blue knob, oh okay, so there's on, and then there's going all the way the other direction. So that is the controlling of the speed of the flashing. So blue is speed, orange switches it from strobe to sound activation. So that was pretty easy to figure out even without it being labeled. So let's go ahead and set this here so you can see it work with the remote. There we go. Hopefully that's not going to bother your eyes too much. I'm going to pull the plastic tab out the back so the battery should work. So let's hit the off, and it worked. So on and off work. Now we're going to hit the LED button, and that gives you a bright blast. So that's basically like a full on for a few seconds. Let's see, we're on auto right now. So we're going to do auto up. So that's your speed control, and auto down. And we can slow it down with that. And then I guess if I hit the AM button, that's going to switch it to sound activation mode. And there we go, we're in sound activation mode. And I can go mic up, and now it's going to be a lot better with my voice. Let's take that all the way up. Sound activation mode, sound mode. So with the remote control or the buttons on the bottom, you can actually control this strobe. And just with the hitting of the AM button, switch it between the two modes. And I can turn that back up to a faster strobing. And then, as a reminder, the LED button, full on for a few seconds. There we have it. So it's a nice strobe effect that's going on here. Let me turn this off. So it is a nice little strobe effect. Like I said, it does have some weight to it. That I was actually impressed with. So it's not a cheap feeling plastic unit. It is 20 watt LEDs. It looks like there's a whole bunch of little LEDs in there and a reflector. I don't know if you're going to see that. Let me unplug this and get it closer to the camera there for you. There you go. And it's got just two knobs. I guess that's the microphone right there and the power cable. So I'm going to go ahead and turn all the lights off in this room so you can kind of get an idea of how bright this strobe is. And then we'll be right back. See you in a second. Alright, so I'm back with all the lights off. You can see that it's dark in here now. And I am just going to turn on the light. I'm going to turn it away from the camera because I don't know how it's going to react right away. And now you can see it. Let me bring this up some. I'm going to hit the table so you have something to reflect off of. Aim it at me so you can see what it does to me. Alright, so if I take the knob and turn this so it's on, just like that, you can see that it does make my shirt glow. Obviously, this wasn't a white shirt, it was more of a bluish shirt. Actually, I have a piece of paper right over here that's white. So let's see what it does to white. So it does give it that UV glow. So I can see, and then in the reflection it does look purple now that I'm looking at the light and not having it flash. So when it's on steady, you can actually see that it's more of a UV-ish color. It's just when it starts strobing, it's looking a little more blue to the naked eye. So right now you can see that it's that purplish blue color, and then once I start strobing it, that's where it looks a little different. But there you go. So once again, this has been Monkey Around Reviews, reviewing the 20 watt Apatner UV strobe light. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure you ask so below. And as always, please make sure you subscribe.